We're about to blow these out, and I can promise you they won't last long. Also, these products are high-demand products, not your typical on-sale stuff that no one wants. Our deals won't be beat, and your buying experience will be unmatched. We look forward to serving you. Wood Power Sports, solid name you can trust.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call my friend J.T. Finley at 479-521-4220 or come by and see him in the heart of Fayetteville off College Avenue.
ESPN 99.5. You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics.
Off the zone read, it's Jackson again, outside into the end zone, touchdown Arkansas.
Call or text the show at 866-285-4005.
It's
And we are back here on Hog Reaction. Arkansas 37-27 over the UAB Blazers. Trent Dilfer came in here and outcoached the head coach of the Razorbacks. Trent Dilfer did that. But anyway, you've got the number now, 866-285-4005. Call, text, whatever you want to do, and we will take your thoughts on this ball game here today. Ty Richardson joining me here in our ESPN Arkansas studios. And Ty, what did you think of what we saw out there today?
Derek, the word I came up with on the drive over here, by the way, as soon as you said Golden Corral, I passed the Golden Corral on the way to our studio.
Beautiful.
Which was just perfect timing. The word that I came up with was disingenuous, because that football team's better than they played today. A wise guy told me on the way over here, and he's 100% right. There's peaks and valleys within a season. And I was more laughing at times during the game, just thinking they're a better football team than they displayed. And I think you saw it during the course of a 70-0 blowout, and you saw it with more heart, effort in Stillwater, Oklahoma. But you hit the nail on the head earlier. For whatever reason, this team does just not play well in Razorback Stadium, particularly in the last two and I guess a third of the season or a fourth of the season, whatever you say. And it's these non-conference opponents. Look, I get it. It's hard to get up for a lesser opponent when they come. But this was your first home game of the season. I thought that would kind of knock out the UAB aspect of this, but unfortunately, a 10-point win where they didn't come close to covering, Derek. It didn't at all.
No, it's I don't know. I can't imagine why it just is so unimportant to play well in Fayetteville for a team that has its campus and facility and does everything in Fayetteville. Like, I mean, I don't know what the people who pay to help renovate and build that stadium and pay for all this stuff. Like, I don't know what they did wrong to deserve to have to sit there and watch this time after time, year after year. I don't understand it. It makes no sense. And what if they played a real team in Little Rock? Would it be any better? I mean, they haven't played a real team in Little Rock in years, so I don't even know if that's. But there's something like it's just so uninspiring when they take the field in Fayetteville more often than not. Missouri came in here and killed them last year. BYU, Auburn. Liberty, Auburn. Today, I mean, even Kent State is the worst program in college football. They're losing right now in the second quarter to Tennessee 58-0 in Knoxville. They lost here 28-6. They won. But it's just so dadgum uninspiring, and I just don't know. There's a difference between, because I hear what you're saying about getting up for all the games and stuff like that. But there's a difference between playing poorly and not being up for the game, and they just played poorly for most of the game. They just they're probably the same thing, but I don't know. I can't. This doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense how you can just play so poorly like that
Repeatedly, and it's not a one-time offense.
Right.
It's like the one-time offense. You don't get as mad at a kid for screwing up when he does it one time. When it's a repeat offender,
Yeah.
What doesn't make any sense to me, like there's almost like an inherent, it's not the word okay is not fair, but like when teams lose or play bad on the road, it's like okay they're on the road, but there's no excuse for playing that bad at home. That's why I think fans are just so puzzled by what's gone on the last 2 years and a third of a season because you've only played one game here. And the other part about this is, Derek, you don't play here for 3 weeks.
Right.
You don't play until you play the Tennessee Volunteers. You go to Auburn next week, then you go to Jerry World, then you come back. And if you don't split those next 2 games, what is the attendance going to be like for that Tennessee game?
Yeah. Well, there's going to be a lot of orange probably in the stands, I would imagine. Brad is on the phone here in Fayetteville. Brad, welcome to Hog Reaction.
Hey guys, how's it going?
We're doing fine. What's up?
My question is, where was Luke Haas? Why are you not throwing to one of your best players, and you're throwing it Ty Broden, and he just bouncing off his hands?
That's a great question. They're showing here on the screen no targets for Luke Haas in the game. Is that right? You were there.
I thought he had one on the sidelines, but maybe I'm misremembering that. He looked hurt to me in the last game. Did you see him grabbing his back against Oklahoma State on that last touchdown? So I don't know. Pittman got asked about it this week, and he said it wasn't an issue. He was blocking a lot, but to Brad's point, they didn't really target him that much, Derek.
No, but the entire passing game was a disaster today. I mean, you complete 42% against this team. It's a disaster, and I don't know how Bobby Petrino didn't destroy something on the sideline today, honestly, with his propensity for being upset about stuff like this. But, hey, maybe the media is right. Maybe he's a changed guy, and it doesn't bother him as much publicly anymore.
He got into Taylor's butt that first pick. I watched him get after him a little bit. So, and I would guess that was not the only time, but that was the only time that SEC Network kind of showed it on the sidelines I saw.
And they've been told, keep it, don't exploit showing him freaking out on TV for us, please.
It is Disney after all, Derek.
That's right. Well, and they're a league partner, so of course they're going to try and take care of Arkansas when they would have a request like that. But I mean, this is pretty simple to me, Ty. Moving forward, if they can't throw, the SEC defense are going to stop the run, and then what do you have on offense? What do you have,
man? No, you said something about Andrew Armstrong earlier, who once again had an awesome game. He really is become a bona fide SEC receiver. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets drafted, but there's just inconsistency. Broden slipped a few times tonight, had one hit him in the hands. I love C.J. Brown. I got a chance to talk to him this summer, but he had that wide open, I don't know if it was a flag route, but he missed it on the sidelines. You had some other guys that missed some balls, and to be honest, Taylor. Just there weren't a lot of catchable balls tonight in the first half, Derek, and that's what I think is a little worrisome, like you alluded to, because if you're and I couldn't tell you Auburn's defensive coordinator is, but if you freezes watching that game film after this New Mexico game, I'm just stacking the box against Taylor and making him beat me over the top or to just beat me throwing the football.
The thing that they showed on TV over and over again was the fact that, like, the problem wasn't the play. They kept showing how open people were, but for whatever reason today, Taylor Green decided to make things incredibly difficult on himself and not throw it to open receivers and run around and try and create when there was already open receivers on certain plays. But again, Taylor Green to me is, if you got an objective and honest scouting report on him coming out of Boise State, this is kind of what it is. He'll have some times where he'll light your hair on fire. He'll be so excited, and then the rest of the time it's like, what in the world is he doing out there? This is what he is. So.
Yeah, I counted at least 2 touchdowns he missed today. Derek, one was I think to Broden. Another, I mean, Andrew Armstrong didn't have anyone within 10 yards of him. Had a great. It looked like a deep slant almost, and it just was wide open, and Taylor didn't even get it close to him. And, I mean, if you miss on a ball like that in Auburn next week, there's no chance you win that game. I think it's irritating. I mean, it's got to be frustrating for Bobby Petrino because there were, like you said, there were guys that were schemed open, there were guys that he got open, but Talon unfortunately just did not have a good night tonight.
His plays worked. They just didn't do the thing they needed to do I thought in the second half against Oklahoma State, a lot of his plays didn't work, and that was my complaint. But out of this game today, the stuff was there, and just the quarterback didn't hit it for whatever reason. I don't know why. So that's the difference to me between the two ball games there. You can text us or call us here 866-285-4005 and get on in here on Hog Reaction, brought to you by Bud Light. Let me read some texts here while we have some time here. Here's a suggestion: play all the games in Little Rock, and that's one suggestion
That's
here.
That's definitely a Ruskin and Zach listener.
That's
right.
There. Yes, exactly. Bray has texted in. Just cracked open a high noon, and all I got to say is thank God basketball season is coming up. All right. Let's see here. Here's a text. What are the odds for the next head coach?
Well, they're popping them off in Florida and Gainesville, right?
Yeah,
now.
yeah. That's it's there's gonna be a lottery here for coaching services by whoever the commodities will be during this cycle. I don't know if Urban's going to get back in somewhere. I don't know what it's going to look like. But I mean, Napier's cooked. Norvell's not looking great.
0-3.
I know they've had 3 0-3 starts in 50 years, and he's got 2 of them. The first one, the other one is the first year Bobby Bowden was the coach. So that's not great to have 2 of the 3 0-3 starts in your program in 50 years. So that's going to be something to watch moving forward here. All right. Kenny in Elkin says the band was darn good. I mean, like the band. Of course, his daughter's in the band, so we would hope that he would like that.
I met him today.
Oh, you did?
First time.
Oh, that's good.
Man, the DQ fan. They were so cool.
Yeah. Jason and Rogers texted in here, Ty. Sam Pittman needs to take notes from Tennessee on how to put away teams that are inferior.
65-0 in the second quarter, Derek.
At halftime, it's 65-0. Here's the difference, Jason. Tennessee has better players than Arkansas. That's why they're able to do this.
Yeah.
That's why, their talent level is much larger than Arkansas's talent level, which, according to 247, is somewhere in that 12, 13, 14 range. In the SEC.
Yeah, Tennessee's got that Nico kid. He's a 5-star quarterback out of California. They've still got talented players around. The other thing about Tennessee that people haven't realized is the high school football and that talent in the state is growing exponentially, Derek. So they have the advantage that Arkansas just, again, has to battle off every other SEC school, or they go in there. Heupel just goes in his own backyard, plucks a kid from Nashville, Eastern Tennessee, Memphis, and Arkansas just doesn't have that advantage anymore, unfortunately.
All right, we're going to hit a break here and come back with more here on Hog Reaction, brought to you by Bud Light. 866-285-4005 is how you can get us. Ruskin and Ty in here with you, and we will return on ESPN Arkansas after this.
This is Hog Reaction.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Buckle up. Brunch is now being served at your local lodge. Wake up with the scratch favorites you love and classic brunch drinks that won't break the bank. Only at Twin Peaks in Rogers. Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
How could I possibly be expected to handle work on a day like this? Take a day off and check out the new and pre-owned rides at Rath Mitsubishi. Bring in your old ride and get state sales tax paid when you trade for one of our new or road-ready certified pre-owned cars. So choice. I highly recommend picking one up. Life moves pretty fast, so stop and look around at Rath Mitsubishi. Don Tyson and 71B Springdale, rathmitsubishi.com. You're still here? The ad's over.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call my friend J.T. Finley at 479-521-4220 or come by and see him in the heart of Fayetteville off College Avenue.
Your Mach 1 market moment.
They are going down. I mean, we're having consistent changes, and it's all kind of negative changes.
What was it, 4 months ago, you could go buy a 5% CD pretty easy on the open market. Now we're at, I looked today, it was like 4.3.
Right, which is pretty tremendous. So that's forward-looking markets when the rates really haven't fallen that much, but that's kind of what happens.
Well, what got us in this situation was rates were at zero, essentially zero. They were at zero, the Fed funds rate, and then they increased them by 500%.
Right,
very short
in a year.
And the market was looking out, it's like, okay, we don't think rates are going to be this high 10 years from now, 20 years from now. So that part of the curve did not increase, right? Rates were not going up at the 10 and 20-year terms. Basically calling the bluff.
Mach 1 Financial Group, LLC is a registered investment advisor located in Rogers, Arkansas. For full disclosures, please see advisorinfo.sec.gov or mach1financial.com/disclosures.
It's game time, Arkansas. While you're cheering on the Hogs, don't get stuck with a cold shower. Kenty Jones Plumbing has your winning play this season. 0 down on a brand new water heater. Whether it's tank or tankless, Kenty Jones Plumbing has the best options to keep your home's water running hot all season long. And with 0 down, you can score big without breaking the bank. Call Kenty Jones Plumbing today at 479-925-4186 and get in the game with your new water heater. That's Kenty Jones Plumbing, your home's MVP. Call today, 479-925-4186. Kenty Jones Plumbing, MP number 7016.
Guys, struggling to shed those extra pounds? Tired of diets that just don't work? At Voxy Wellness in Rogers, we've got the game changer you need. Our compounded semaglutide injections are specially formulated to help you lose weight effectively and keep it off. Let Voxy help you achieve the leaner, healthier body you've been aiming for. And right now, new patients get $50 off their first treatment with code VOXY50. Take control of your weight loss journey today at VoxyNWA.com. That's Voxy, V for Victory, OXYNWA.com.
ESPN 99.5. You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics.
Off the zone read, it's Jackson again, left side into the end zone, touchdown Arkansas.
Call or text the show at 866-285-4005.
It's
Back here on Hog Reaction. 866-285-4005. Text or call us here to get on the program. Ruskin, Ty Richardson with you here, recapping that thrilling 37-27 win by Arkansas over UAB.
We're just collecting a check this show, Derek.
It's hey, just like UAB, we're collecting, just like Sam Pittman. Just make sure the checks keep flowing.
Do you order a pizza yet or no?
This is an interesting thing. I haven't talked about this yet. So, Ty actually had Ty has a lot of good ideas, but this was a good idea earlier when we were talking about this program. Ty suggested we should do something that shows where is not interested in this as the football team is not interested in playing this game today. And Ty thought we should order a pizza on the air. And that's not a bad idea, because why should we be engaged if they're not? You know what I mean? What's the difference? So it's not a bad idea. And maybe we'll do that. There's a lot of other stuff we could probably do too we're sponsored by Bud Light. What are we doing here?
I know.
Come on.
It has become a tradition with you and me, Derek, that I crack a brew during the post-game show. I'm usually on the road, but I did not bring any. That's my fault. One of the many mistakes that I have made and will make throughout this show/game, as we had many to choose from with Arkansas in the 60 minutes that they displayed tonight.
Right. Here's a text from Brandon in Little Rock. Sluggish start, overlooking, not inspired. How do we keep showing up to games like this? It has to be Pitt's responsibility. Feels sloppy as a program.
Did you see another texter said that Fayetteville's their vacation homes and the road sites are where they actually... Again, this is such an enigma, Derek.
Yeah.
What college football program do you know that plays worse at home than they do on the road.
If they're going to keep Pittman, they need to extend all of the contracts in Arlington, Little Rock. Just keep it going. Play less games here. Take the lights down like the 80s. Get rid of those. And before that, too. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's bizarre. It is sloppy. That's a good word that Brandon used there. It's just everything feels like just
flat and sloppy.
That's right. It just looks. It just doesn't like. Okay,
could be Florida.
Could be Florida. They beat Florida last year.
They did.
Yeah. Let's see here. There you go. Here's a text. The best part of the game was the dog show.
The dog got a louder ovation and caught more balls than the team did, Derek.
Okay, so let me look at this here. Taylor Green completed 11 passes.
The dog caught like 20 frisbees.
The dog trainer had more completions than Taylor Green. Okay. There you go, everybody. But hey, they won. Fantastic.
Did you see Zach's text? Notre Dame plays worse at home.
Apparently they do, yeah, because they went to Ross Aid in West Lafayette today and beat the cheeks of the Purdue Boilermakers today.
How about Will at the Stadium Shop, whose dad's a Northern Illinois alum, just repping a nice Northern Illinois shirt at the Stadium Shop today.
Yeah.
Absolutely glorious.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Yeah. The best receiver on the field. Now, this is a Ruskin and Zach poll question. Don't steal this, Ty. I know the other people won't steal it, but don't take this one. Okay. Better receiver, Andrew Armstrong or the Frisbee dog on Saturday? I mean, Andrew Armstrong went 8 for 137.
He hit his over.
Oh, he did?
He did.
Way to go.
It was 7.5, I think 75. He, my hot take this football season, Derek, that he was going to go over 1,000 yards. And if not for that injury, I'm really liking where he's at. He's at like 260 right now, I think. Between last game and this game, he's been awesome. And I think so. There was that one rollout play tonight. If you're, I believe Rick Schaefer, and maybe it was Gino Bell after the vote. If you're Auburn next week, you bracket him, and you put 7, 8 in the box, and you make anyone else beat you. How does Arkansas win that game next weekend? If the Tigers employ that philosophy, obviously they're going to do some more intricate stuff, but I don't know how Arkansas wins that game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not here, so that's one thing they got going for them. So that's good. They're not playing here, so that'll be good. But Auburn stinks. This is going to be a as Zach would say, handbags at 10 paces. This is going to be as bad as today's football game was. Next week will be worse.
It will be.
It's going to be awful to watch.
It will be the 2:30 game. They'll announce it tomorrow because they'll want to pair it up against a good game next week, and so they don't want anyone to watch. They would stack it at 3:15. It was going to be a good game, but it'll be one of the worst SEC games of the day, at least on paper. It might end up being a good football game.
That might be close.
Yes.
But close doesn't mean good.
Yes.
Close means close.
Correct. So I think with Auburn, is it Hank Brown? Is that the kid they started tonight?
Yeah.
He's getting a little confidence heading into that game this week. I mean, they benched a captain, Peyton Thorne. I know we're jumping ahead a little bit, less reaction to what happened today, but I'm just curious what kind of kid we see, because he's only a redshirt freshman. And I think apparently Auburn, I know Hugh Freeze said a little things. Like Gino was talking about this in the Learfield post game. Hugh Freeze talked a little smack. Auburn, I know for Travis Williams how much that game means to him, being an alum, being there at one point. So I would think Arkansas is going to give you a much better performance next week than they did. Plus, as you mentioned, the most important factor, they're on the road.
Not here. Yeah, that's right. that's the thing.
But what is the number, like, of any, Derek, you've, like, think about, let's go back to Harding Academy days.
Okay.
You've got, your basketball coach looks at you guys in junior high or high school and says, we protect this house. That's just like every coach in the history of sports has said, we don't lose at home. We don't lose bad. And again, they won today. I have to give them credit for that. But it was UAB. Like, they should have at least beat these guys by 3 touchdowns. And it was a close game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was up in the air till the very end. And it shouldn't have been. I mean, I don't believe it's unreasonable for someone to expect a program in its 5th year of whatever this is to be a little bit further along than to struggle win against UAB on the home field. I don't believe that's unreasonable. Now, if you expect them to go 10-2, I think that's unreasonable. But I don't think it's unreasonable to expect them to blow out a UAB. Now, I'm not asking you to put 65 on them in a half like Tennessee has with Kent State tonight. But good Lord, cover the spread at home against these tomato cans from the American or whatever league they're in now. Coosa, I don't even know.
That scored how many points last week, Derek?
Who did?
6.
Oh, yeah, 6.
UAB scored 6. And I know
against a bad Sunbelt team.
Yeah, and I know it's game to game, and I know sometimes the metrics and the stats for the game before don't matter, but there was not a lot of positive talk about the offense for UAB heading in this game. It's more about their defense, who got to give credit. Their defense stoned Arkansas a good chunk of that first half, and then they opened it up a little bit.
Yeah. Pinto's on the phone here. Hi, Pinto. You're on Hog Reaction.
Hey, how are you?
We're doing well, thank you.
Listen, okay, you had a caller earlier talk about, the GM is just too hard-headed to admit that, yeah, I made a mistake and gave him all this money, but we're gonna play this first-round draft pick. I don't know if Petrino's that way with probably one of the car dealership moguls that he leaned on for a ton of money to give this Taylor Green or, very nice truck or whatever he's driving, but it's kind of like somebody's got to let go. Say, okay, yeah, we screwed that crap up. That other kid, honestly, when we saw the other kid play, he looks pretty good. Taylor Green is just living on his athleticism, the way I see it. Makes up for mistakes with his athleticism.
You're not overreacting to one game. I mean, he played bad today, and I guarantee I hadn't listened to it, Derek, to be honest, because I was driving over here to listen to you. But that's a guy that takes accountability for his mess ups. I mean, when you've heard him talk, Pinto, I think you're one game. You're really willing to go that far after one performance like that?
I think the other guy ought to get a shot at it. Hey, last week, what we did? We missed a wheel route. I mean, it's a wheel route. There's nobody there. Hit the guy in stride, and it's a touchdown. He threw it at his freaking ankles.
What? Did you watch the rest of the game?
Yeah, I did. He's just not. Okay, let's just put it this way. He's Bobby Petrino's hand-picked quarterback for Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
He's not Bobby Petrino's hand-picked quarterback for Michigan, for Texas, for LSU. He's for who we can get. I don't know about this Singleton kid. Who wanted him besides us when he came to the U of A? Can you tell me that?
He's a Georgia kid. He's a 4-star coming out of high. Tough kid. Real tough kid. I don't have his offer list in front of me, Pinto. But I think
I bet it was higher quality than Taylor Green's offer list. I'll just bet you.
I think you're right. But I'm not giving up on Taylor Green after this game because of what I saw last week. And I mean, he's the reason Criswell's back in Chapel Hill, Derek.
Yeah.
And listen, you put it perfectly earlier. Petrino, as I was listening to you drive over, Petrino did recruit him to play at Missouri State. This was not like following.
Exactly.
This was not following like Ryan Mallett or Tyler Wilson back 10+ years ago. He was recruited to initially play at Missouri State, ended up at Boise State, and now ended up in Fayetteville. And there was a lot of other, at least higher recruited quarterbacks out of the transfer portal, and Talon wasn't as pursued per se as some of the other guys that went in front of him.
Yeah. Bento, thanks for the phone call. 866-285-4005. You want to join us here on Hog Reaction.
Touchdown. Oh, no, that's a highlight. Damn. All right.
The multi-view will get you on that.
It will. Yeah.
The multi-view, I've seen so many touchdowns that weren't touchdowns on the multi-view because, you can't, when you're not hearing it, you can't tell that it's a halftime show and not an actual game.
I do love listening to y'all's March Madness shows because there's you guys are reacting during the show about something that's on the television. It cracks me up.
Yeah. Were you listening to today? We're just talking about the Saved by the Bell rerun we were watching on TV. Yeah. We have a good time in here.
Kelly Kapowski.
Yeah.
By the way,
very important.
Here's the other bad thing. I was thinking about this today.
Uh-oh.
It's sundress season right now. By the time October rolls around, everyone's going to wear jackets.
Oh, yeah.
We got one sundress week in Fayetteville, Arkansas. That's it. Now, as a single adult male, that pisses me off Not just the fact that they played in 5 different venues in 5 games. We got 1 weekend of this, Derek. 1.
Yeah. Here's a text from the 870. The issue is the defense. Landon Jackson is not even SEC third team. He's done nothing since Alabama. He's average. The defense didn't play well today at all. But it's tricky. If you watch the game, like I said earlier, if you watch the game, they didn't play well. But if you just look at the stats, they gave up 27 points. That's good enough. Today's college football. The other team almost scored 40. So, hey, good work. But if you watch the game, I don't know who this Zeno is, kid, but there's no excuse.
Baylor transfer.
There's no excuse for him running roughshod over an SEC defense. That's ridiculous.
Here's what just let's equate it to last week. If you want to look at stats and scores, did the defense play better today or last week? I'd say last week. For 50 minutes, they didn't allow an offensive touchdown, Derek, in Stillwater, Oklahoma. And Bowman really didn't play that well for the majority of the game. Made a couple plays down the stretch. Got to give him credit. He's a 7-year guy. But, yeah, sometimes in the box score, when you look at the final stats, like you're saying, it'll lie to you. They don't just have, a game wrecker. Tennessee's got Pierce. LSU's had plenty of guys over the years. Georgia's got a couple of them. And I was hoping Landon would take that next step. And he's really good at the run. You watch him in run-stopping stuff. He's all over it. He hasn't taken that next step as that pass rusher that they wanted to. He wants to. He's pretty open. He thought he did some things in the offseason to get it, but they don't have anyone on the defensive end or defensive tackle that it will just wreck a game plan. And there's plenty of other SEC teams, unfortunately, that do.
Yeah. All right. It's a Hog Reaction here on ESPN Arkansas. 866-285-4005 is how you can reach out to us. Some of the comments following the game starting to trickle in here, reading some of those here. So we'll react to some of that, let you hear about it coming up here in a moment. We are presented by Bud Light, and this is Hog Reaction on ESPN Arkansas and the Hit That Line Now app. Stay with us.
This is Hog Reaction.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb-based brands.
He means the website, which is shoponrazorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Game day is here. Don't let your HVAC system fumble. Call Kenty Jones Heating and Cooling. Their team offers fast, reliable service for both residential and commercial 24/7. From $39 inspections to a Kenty Club membership, Kenty Jones has you covered as Northwest Arkansas's trusted HVAC experts. See for yourself why Kenty Jones Heating and Cooling is rated 4.9 stars by hundreds of happy customers. Visit KentyJones.com to schedule your service. Kenty Jones Heating and Cooling. Excellence in the air.
If you're looking for the best Chicago-style pizza outside of the Windy City, you need to head to Cassano's. Every pizza is made from scratch with the freshest ingredients and served the way you want it. And while you enjoy that perfect slice, catch all the games. Cassano's is your premier sports bar with lots of TVs showing all your favorite teams. Your place for the best pizza, coldest drinks, friendliest service, local events, and entertainment. It's Cassano's Chicago-style pizza. Sterling Bank is committed to the Northwest Arkansas community, and as members of this community, their relationships go beyond banking. They're cheering on the same teams, shopping at the same stores, and serving the same causes that help make our community a great place to live. Stop by your local branch in Fayetteville or Rogers to discover the Sterling Bank difference with their top-notch customer service and complete menu of products. Sterling Bank is your community bank. Member FDIC.
Enjoy chef-inspired modern Ozark cuisine at Mockingbird Kitchen in the Evelyn Hill Shopping Center in Fayetteville. Mockingbird Kitchen open Wednesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch. Dine in or on their beautiful outdoor patio. Whether you're savoring their signature dishes or exploring their daily specials, each visit is a new culinary adventure. Pair your meal with a selection from their signature cocktails, local beer, or cider. Vegetarian, vegan, and gluten-free friendly. Discover modern Ozark cuisine at its finest, only at Mockingbird Kitchen.
Work now, pay later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select New Holland equipment. Choose 0 for 60 or up to 10,000 cash back plus free net wrap on roll belt round balers. 0 for 72 or up to 10,000 cash back on mid-range tractors, or 0 for 72 plus an additional 2,000 cash back on a new compact. Work smarter with no money down, no interest, and no payments on your choice of the summer's hottest deals at WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Call Derek Wardlow in Rogers or Carrie Earwood in Rogers.
Courtney Hollingsworth Auto Body, family owned and operated for over 40 years, is your collision repair specialist. Only 15% of collision repair shops achieve iCar Gold Class status, the highest training level recognized in the industry. Courtney Hollingsworth is proud to be one of them. Put your vehicle repairs in the hands of the experts. Call Courtney Hollingsworth Auto Body today at 479-751-3801. That's 751-3801. And online at CourtneyHollingsworth.com.
ESPN 99.5. You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics.
Off the zone read. It's Jackson again. Left side into the end zone. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Call or text the show at 866-285-4005.
It's
All right, we return here on Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light on a Saturday here on ESPN Arkansas. Ruskin and Ty here with you. You can get in here at 866-285-4005 is how you can be a part of the show. Text us, call us, whatever you want to do. You can leave the voice note on the Hit That Line Now app if you'd like to do that and send that in here.
Surprised there wasn't more of that, Derek.
You know, I was thinking about that. And, you know, last week people were mad because they should have won and lost. And tonight, I think everybody's just timid because they won and they should have lost. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's the opposite. So you kind of feel like you got away with one. You don't feel like it. You did. You got away with one. So everybody's kind of like, again, there are an overwhelming amount of people who just don't think at all critically about this stuff. And they're just like, oh, they won. Great. Move on. It's a win. And so they don't, put their analyzing hats on after a game like this. They take it and they move on. So that's a lot of what happens too.
Meanwhile, a couple of their opponents, like the Texas Longhorns, are up 49-7. The Tennessee Volunteers are up 65-0 against similar competition. So
they're in the red zone again, Ty. Tennessee.
Drink.
I want Heupel to score 100. Screw sportsmanship or whatever. Go for the 100 burger.
You hate the golden. Derek Ruskin hates the golden flash.
No, I've just never seen 100 in a football game. I just want to see it.
Interception, rats.
Oh, you mean the Auburn game? Yeah.
This quad box is.
It's elite, isn't it? I don't know why anyone would have anything other than YouTube TV. Not to give them a free plug or anything, but this is pretty great. Well, especially because the college football is so self-serving. So you have to put a bunch of good games on at the same time, whereas the NFL can kind of stagger them out.
Yeah.
So you have to watch more than one game at the same time. I mean, that's what you have to do. There's no other way around it.
We got to figure out a way to get this set up in our studio, Derek, because this is. First off, I don't understand how you guys get any work done if this was on. And I guess
we don't.
I guess during the week there's not this excess amount of sports that you guys can watch. But even like a Saved by the Bell rain run, I would be so caught up in what Lisa Turtle or Zach Morris or what that cast was doing back in the day, just like in that episode. Great show.
Well, keep in mind, for every college football quad box in here, we watch about 15 Chicago White Sox baseball games, too. So it does balance out. So you got to remember that.
I just like playing the Dominic Fletcher and Andrew Benintendi highlights in the morning. And then, by the way, the White Sox also lost.
They lost again, and they're on their way to setting the record. Yeah. So Arkansas wins today 37-27. And, what do you think about all this? 866-285-4005. We got a text here from John. Can we just say the elephant in the room? How low energy and mellow Pittman is. Petrino and Williams are great coaches, but if the CEO is so low energy, what do you expect? That's a pretty good point, John. I have to say he's very mellow. Like behind the scenes, he may jump on people and yell and scream. But I mean, the only time during a game, and I'm not one of these people that thinks that your sideline demeanor is everything. But boy, they really do take on his temperature in the and his temperament, I guess, in these home games when he's just kind of like, oh, all right, whatever, okay, you know what I mean?
You want to watch Pittman saving a kid, just tear like Plushka, is that the tight end's name? The one that just first of all, I guess he didn't hit the plant leg, which is why I was running the kicker. He just mauls the kicker, just runs straight through him. And you want him to Nick Saban on the sidelines, just Walker just start dog cussing. I think it's disheartening as a fan. Like we always talk about the money, and you always hit this pretty good in the afternoons. Like you spend so much money to contribute to this program. It could be something as simple as YouTube TV, the $80 a month. It could be the donations that you spend. I mean, there's Broyles Matthew Award winners that listen to our airwaves. There's people that get to go to one game. It doesn't matter. It's all relative because you're investing in this program, and you're particularly investing in this program at home. And I don't know what the remedy is, Derek, for Sam Pitt, because you referenced 2020. They won at home in 2021.
Yeah.
Particularly the Texas game that everyone remembers. They won the year before that against Tennessee and Ole Miss, and they kind of get that thing going. They can do it. I just don't know the formula that they used back then and why it's been so hard to conjure up the last 2 years, man.
4-3 2 years ago, 3-4 last year, so 7-7, and now 8-7. They went 6-1 that 2021 year where they beat Texas here. And actually, that's not even correct because when you look at their website, they count Little Rock as a home game, and we all know that's not true.
Yeah.
So it's really.
Is it 6-7?
5-7, maybe. I don't know, but it's not good enough. Like there's not an excuse for this. There's not an excuse for this. They just look completely uninterested. Somebody texted in earlier that somebody said they didn't even look at film this week. And so that would obviously, if that's true, that would explain a lot of what we saw today in the ball game. But and then Pittman said this after the game. He said, "We can't compete in the SEC playing like we did tonight." Well, that's true.
Yeah.
So does that mean like 0-8? Like what? Like that's not a. Like I know. Here's the best part about Sam Pittman is he's honest as the day is long. Like. There are things he says repeatedly that you're just like, my God, why would you ever say that? Why would you ever admit you had 8 interceptions in a close scrimmage that nobody saw?
That's what Tommy occasionally says about me. Why would you say that?
Just say, hey, the defense had a little bit better today.
Yeah.
That's what you say. But, I don't think if you've got fans out there that like this can't be the message from the leader's desk is, if we play like that, we can't win. Like we all know that's true, but he can't say that. He has to find another way of saying, I don't know. It's just more bad messaging from the top there, I guess. I don't know.
I think from his vantage point, there's nothing really you can say after this game that would give any fans like reason to be okay with their performance today. I just think for him, everyone goes back to, and I'm forgetting the game when he said, "I don't know." That's when you say that as a college football coach, regardless if it's true or not. I mean, your fans are going to eat you alive, and I think people are still holding him to that phrase that he uttered. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, but I mean, it's just tough. I mean, I think you could make this debate. I hope this is incorrect. I hope it's false, but you could make the debate that they peaked under him, and that was back in 2021.
Yeah,
and that they overachieved that year based on having one of the best wide receivers in the history of the program, just an insane amount of super seniors, and the guys just mixed, and the chemistry was great. Unfortunately, just hasn't. It's been more the same these last couple years.
Yeah. Well, we finally, on our text line here, we found someone, and I told you this was going to be the way. Again, this is a Golden Corral special. If you like games where it's like, hey, they won, I don't care, let's move on. This was for you. If you like to look at things and go, man, is that I didn't like this, and this in a win, there was that for you too. We've heard from Bob on the text line here, and we found one. I love it. I love this. We found one. I'm glad none of the players or coaches are listening to the bad-mouthing you're spewing out after winning the game today. You're right, Bob. You got me. But there he is. But that's exactly how a lot of people feel tonight, Ty, is, hey, they won. Who cares? Nothing to see here. That's how a lot of people feel tonight.
I don't think. I mean, I listened to you when you drove, and I've listened to everything I've said, and I don't think we've been overly critical. I don't think we've said anything that's out of bounds. We've just been honest. Like, and if you play like this the rest of the season, you're not going to win. I mean, you might be a Mississippi State because they look like they stink. But
here are the only, and maybe listen, if I'm wrong about this, and Brad texting and Bob is part of the problem. That's absolutely true. But I digress. And someone can text in and correct me on this, but I believe here are the 3 times, maybe 4, that players have been mentioned on this show. Let's just go through these, Ty, and let's analyze this and see. Okay, all right. I said earlier, Taylon Green played a terrible game. Is that unfair? Is that ripping a player?
He would tell you he played bad.
He completed 42% of his passes.
Yeah. He missed at least 2 open touchdowns.
Yeah, he left probably 21 points on the field.
Yeah.
Okay, so we agree that's fair.
Undeniable.
I said that they have one SEC receiver on this roster, and it's Andrew Armstrong. Is that critical? Is that mean?
I might give you a little pushback on that, but it's undeniable. Like, he'll probably wind up on an all SEC team if he keeps playing at the pace he's at.
Okay. All right. Let me try to think of the other one. We mentioned we had a texter say that Landon Jackson hasn't been any good this year. And we didn't say that. I'm just reading what a guy said.
And what we kind of our retort to that was, and I said Landon's been really gets the run. He just hadn't gotten to the quarterback. And if you watch the game, he's getting blocked, he's getting chipped, he's getting doubled. So there's been reasons for that. And again, he would tell you that. I say he would tell you a couple on those. I think that both those guys would tell you that they have to be better in order for Arkansas to take that next step. Because you got Taylor, who's a leader, Landon's a leader. No, you haven't. No, I don't. So that's just Bob. Bob's in his own little world. He's in fantasy land. Like, if you want to live with the rainbow view, Bob, of Arkansas football, then you're going to wind up hurt how the rest of the season goes. Or if you look at reality, then it won't be as painful when Arkansas might endure a loss or two that you're not expecting.
Yeah. But I'm not. Again, when this happens around here, I'm not picking on one person because there are thousands of people that feel exactly like that think that everything went according to plan today. And the tricky thing about it is if you just look at the score, it did. Okay, you would have liked a little bit better margin, but you gave up less than 30 and you almost scored 40. To a lot of people, that's good. That'll work. Thank you. We're moving on. So, it's tricky. We have the curse or blessings of having to watch these games. So sometimes what we see is a little bit different than people who maybe don't have to watch the entirety of these games. It's not good. It's not one way is not better than the other. That's just the way that it is sometimes. So I don't know. I don't feel like anything
It's a blessing
has been.
and a curse, Derek.
Yes, it is. Yeah, sometimes we deserve battle pay for watching some of these games. By the way, I was curious about this because I've talked a lot about wrong card. I was talking a lot about Pittman's record, and he's barely 500, and now he's 15-11 in Fayetteville. And I was thinking about how many times I've had to do one of these shows, either on a post-game show or a Monday show after a game on a weekend. Mm-hmm. And, the final score doesn't look like the game. So you have to kind of well, what do you say? Because, again, there's a lot of people that are like, hey, they won, who cares? So I looked it up. And in my time in radio, minus 2018, because I was not in radio for football 2018, the football program at Arkansas is 94-96 in my time since 2008, Petrino's first year. I would say of those 90 wins, we've had to do this dance of navigating a score that doesn't look like the game, 70 times. I mean, it's just been 60 times maybe.
What you're saying is there's only like 20 to 30 consequential wins. Is that
there have been 20 to 30 games wins where Arkansas just looked good, played good, won, dominated, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And the rest of the time when they won, it looked like this, where they kind of you have to figure out, well, how do I talk about this? Because the final score does not look like most of the first quarter, second quarter, or whatever the rest of it goes. Anyway, these are our problems, not anybody else's. So I don't want to bore you with them at all, but anyway, that's what we got going on here. Here is Lee and Mina. I've experienced the home field disadvantage for too many years. I gave up my 25-year season tickets because of that. I remain vindicated. That's what Lee and Mina says.
Ugh.
Way to go, Lee.
Lee, how far is that drive? 3.5?
Well,
Maybe 4?
Yeah, it's
closer to 4.
It's a drive.
Ugh.
That's a drive.
And that's you want to give your fans a product that they're proud of. And I know Sam Pittman. That's and I'm paraphrasing, but that's something he always talks about. It's like making the state. And I don't think many people in the state are in the same line of thinking of Bob. Yes, you won the game, but that's again the word I used earlier in the program is they played like they were disingenuous. That is not the Arkansas football team that I think they're capable of being, especially at home. And you've got what's so crazy to me, and you hope this isn't a reoccurring theme this season, Derek, but you've got 4 really good teams coming in here.
Yeah.
LSU, Texas, Tennessee, and Ole Miss. Like none of those are pushovers, and you can get fans in the building, but you got to give them a reason to pay that extra money to come, or persevere through the cold, or take the kids, whatever it be. And unfortunately, there's more history the last games lately that would tell you to stay home and watch or listen here on the radio.
Well, all right, we're going to take a break here on Hog Reaction presented by Bud Light. 866-285-4005. Stick around here. Ruskin and Ty on ESPN Arkansas on the Hit That Line Now app.
This is Hog Reaction.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Coach, I can't believe it.
Oh, what's the matter there, DQ?
I locked my keys in my car.
Locked your keys in your car? Don't you worry. Call Papa Lock. They can help.
Will they come here?
Absolutely. They have 24-hour service and even offer $5 off with a student ID. They can unlock car doors and fix any lock.
Thanks, Coach. If you need help with locks, call Papa Lock at 479-444-9900. Papa Lock, for the key moments in your life.
Work now, pay later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select New Holland equipment. Choose 0 for 60 or up to 10,000 cash back plus free net wrap on roll belt round balers. 0 for 72 or up to 10,000 cash back on mid-range tractors. Or 0 for 72 plus an additional 2,000 cash back on a new compact. Work smarter with no money down, no interest, and no payments on your choice of the summer's hottest deals. At WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
Your Mach 1 market moment.
They're going down. I mean, we're having consistent changes, and it's all kind of negative changes. We're
What was
starting
it? 4
to
months
lose
ago,
them.
you could go buy a 5% CD pretty easy on the open market. Now we're at, I looked today, it was like 4.3.
Right, which is pretty tremendous. So that's forward-looking markets when the rates really haven't fallen that much, but that's kind of what happens.
Well, what got us in this situation was rates were at zero, essentially zero. They were at zero, the Fed funds rate, and then they increased them by 500%.
Right.
Very short
In a year.
order. And the market was looking out. It's like, okay, we don't think rates are going to be this high 10 years from now, 20 years from now. So that part of the curve did not increase. Right. Rates were not going up at the 10 and 20 year terms.
Basically calling the bluff.
Mach 1 Financial Group LLC is a registered investment advisor located in Rogers, Arkansas. For full disclosures, please see advisorinfo.sec.gov or mach1financial.com/disclosures.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
It's game time, Arkansas. While you're cheering on the Hogs, don't get stuck with a cold shower. Kenty Jones Plumbing has your winning play this season. 0 down on a brand new water heater. Whether it's tank or tankless, Kenty Jones Plumbing has the best options to keep your home's water running hot all season long. And with 0 down, you can score big without breaking the bank. Call Kenty Jones Plumbing today at 479-925-4186 and get in the game with your new water heater. That's Kenty Jones Plumbing, your home's MVP. Call today, 479-925-4186. Kenty Jones Plumbing, MP number 7016.
ESPN 99.5. You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics.
Off the zone read. It's Jackson again. Left side into the end zone. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Call or text the show at 866-285-4005.
It's
Back here on Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light. Bruskin and Ty with you here on ESPN Arkansas and the Hit That Line Now app. 866-285-4005 if you've got a thought on Razorback football as they move on from this UAB performance, and we'll play at Auburn sometime next Saturday afternoon down there at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Again, I don't think it's unreasonable to expect them to have UAB in here and then beat them by like 24 points. Maybe it is, but I don't think it is. But that's what I thought would happen today. I thought they would, maybe we would see some of this, a competitive game for a while, but Arkansas would wear them down towards the end. That is not what happened at all. That has to be terrifying that Arkansas can't wear down. The only team Arkansas can wear down is Arkansas Pine Bluff so far. They didn't, there's no depth. They're just, it's not happening with this roster right now. And they did not wear down UAB. They got back in it. They took the lead, and then UAB did not wither. Mm-hmm. Another way I look at this is it didn't seem like. Let me back this. Well, I want to look up something here and make sure I'm not talking out my backside here. But when you're wearing a team down, you're looking like. Your average rushing yards get larger as the game goes on, right? Yep. That's what you're looking for. All right. 9 yards. They only carried it 4 times in the first quarter, but 9 yards. 14 carries, 7 yards a carry in the second quarter. 11 carries, 8 yards, third quarter. 29 carries, or 9 carries in the fourth quarter, 3.8 yards a carry. So they didn't, the numbers did not. They weren't able to run and salt it away and blow these guys out in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
like I expected they would.
Yeah, even to get that advantage where seemingly you had all the momentum and you couldn't 1,000%. You still put them away because you won the game by 10 points, but not in the way that you expect to against UAB. And listen, I'll go back to what I said earlier. I get that it's not a marquee opponent coming into your home stadium, and you can't get up for every game. I forget the coach that said, you play 4 games that you get up, the best you'll play all season, 4 games that you don't play great, and then 4 games that are kind of in the middle. This will probably be in the one that's one of the lesser ones, but they didn't play it. This is their first home game of the season.
Yeah.
And they just threw a bunch of mistakes early in that first half. They were lucky to get that win in early a portion of the second. And then I guess in the second quarter, things got going a little bit, and then Arkansas started to roll offensively. They outscored them. Derek, I think it was 37-10 is what they ended up outscoring by when they went on that run. But there's still issues within this football team. There are teams like the Tennessee Volunteers and the Texas, they have too much talent, as you refer to, that they can cakewalk in certain games and still win easily. Arkansas is not one of those teams.
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. They think they are, but they're not.
Yeah.
Because when you're in the echo chamber of Fayetteville, everybody wants to talk to you. Everybody wants to congratulate you. Everybody wants to tell you how great you are.
Yeah.
And, the people of the world see no issues when you play poorly and win. So when reality hits, you'd seldom see it coming because, again, all you've heard is how great everything is. So that's part of the issue is that they don't have a realistic sense of what they are over there. They think they're a 9 or 10 win team. They're not. They're not. But they think they are. It's like I think we talked about this. We've talked about this in the past. The problem with the university of unearned arrogance. The football program has an arrogance that is in no way earned. When the basketball team was cooking under Musselman, they could talk a little bit because they were good. They were ranked. They were going to Elite Eights, et cetera, et cetera. The baseball team obviously has had enough success, but the football team is like riding coattails of these other programs, and they haven't done anything. So they feel cocky and arrogant sometimes, and they've accomplished nothing really.
And I think with being the only show in town, and I know there's other colleges here, and you've got listeners that cheer hard for professional teams outside the state, like the St. Louis Cardinals or the Dallas Cowboys or the Kansas City Chiefs. But there's no more popular person in the state than Sam Pittman as your football coach. It's truly the only show in town. The only state like it is Nebraska, Derek. Mm-hmm. And even Nebraska has the College World Series and I guess Creighton in Omaha. But this state is so enthralled with what the Arkansas Razorbacks do on a daily basis. Like that is what is captivating to every person inside this state. And so like that gives like players and coaches and stuff somewhat of an ego. And listen, I would probably have it too if I was up there, but there's got to be some results that accompany it in football, and it just hasn't for the majority the last decade. It just hadn't been the case, Derek.
When the way to counter that, it seems to me, is you have to have someone that is such a diligent worker that they just don't care about all that stuff. Like when Bobby Petrino was here round one for that, for that run, like he honestly couldn't have cared less what anybody thought. He was going to do his, 10,000 hours a week of film study and put together the most intricate and detailed program and all that stuff. When Musselman had basketball going, I mean,
he liked to be in the spotlight a little bit.
But I mean, who worked harder? Who grinded harder than that guy during the season? Watching tape and just doing all of that stuff. So when he lost interest, I mean, obviously we saw the whole thing kind of go sideways. In his final year. So you have to have enough people in the organization that can take a compliment and go thanks, and then just keep on putting in the necessary work. Because I think if there's anything, if there's one constant that we've learned in the 15, 20 years, whatever you want to look at here, it's you have to work really hard. And sometimes, and whatever you want to say, all we see, we don't see you working hard. We see the games. That's the way that they have decided to construct this thing, and that's fine. So if you're going to not work, if you're not going to play well in the games, we're going to assume you're not working hard.
Yeah.
And so that's the that's the thing. Like that's you have to be able to take a compliment and not let it mess with your head where you're like, get a little bit of the feet propping up mode sometimes. You got to keep doing your work.
Speaking of working hard, do we need to order this pizza? I mean, as I was like, for those who missed this earlier, like Derek, Zach, and I were kicking around the ideas like, do we give this Hog Reaction show the same effort that this football team may or may not have given tonight?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised. And you know what's amazed me tonight through the first hour and a half of the show? I figure our phone lines and text line would be lit up with angry fans. I mean, are people just like lethargic about this? Like, it's just, are they just like, it's another okay home win against a marginal opponent? That's one of the things that surprised me tonight, Derek.
Well, they won for one thing. There's always less calls on a post-game show after a win than a loss.
Okay.
And so there's one thing. That's one thing, and that's not one thing. That's the only thing, really. I mean, they did win, and I guess there's a prevailing thought that we won. On to the next one. Don't want to look at it. Don't want to focus on it too much. We saw it. On to the next one. Because last week, they should have won and lost. So people were mad, I think. I was mad. This week, they should have lost and won. So it's kind of a, you ended up passing the cop going 80, but he was like not paying attention or whatever, so you got away with it.
Yeah.
So you didn't get a ticket that time.
So
that's kind of what happened.
Let me ask you this: what's worse? I mean, is it last week the fact that you should have beat a marquee opponent in their house and you gave the game away, or is it that you just beat an okay to bad group of 5 team in your home stadium in the first game of the season? I'm going to lean to last week, but it might be closer to some than I'm anticipating.
I think last week's more disappointing because you didn't win. Your quarterback played terrific for 30 minutes. Today, I think your quarterback played terrific for maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not a terrific performance by him. 42% pass and he throws the pick. I mean, he ran it well, but they've got some things that they got to figure out here because I mean, to say they're one-dimensional is offensive to things that are one-dimensional. They can run it and nothing else right now on offense, and that's going to be a problem that they're going to have to sort out, and they don't really have a lot of time to do that because now you're in the middle of this grind of, you do have a bye coming up in October, but, I mean, the next 3 are league opponents, and, odds are they have more talented rosters than UAB did and than Oklahoma State did. So that's what you're looking at right there. But they've got to figure out. The defense just didn't look like they were engaged at all today.
No.
Okay, so that's one thing. Offensively, schematically, you might have some problems here because, again, you can run, you can't throw with this offense right now.
They got blown off the ball, and they were, defensively, they were awesome against Ollie Gordon, a Heisman Trophy potential guy last week, and they were running hard. And then they'd make a play, Derek, and what was there, 2 or 3 face masks? And I don't want to make light of the young man that was carted off because that was a really bad situation. I watched the replay, and it just, his head hitting the ground, that was rough. But there was 2 or 3 just bonehead face mask plays that they would have ended the drives if they just don't grab the guy by the face mask.
Yeah, there was a lot of sloppiness there on that side. But Robert may have summed this up better than any of us could, Ty, here on the text line. We just don't know what to think. Are we good or bad?
That's a good.
That's
text.
pretty. That's very succinct and to the point. Spot on.
And Derek, do you even find out next week against an Auburn team that's only up by 12 against New Mexico? Do you really find out next week if you have a good football team? I thought that.
You not? Maybe you can't find out until they come back here against Tennessee, because we know what they get outside of the stadium is they overachieve when they're not in this stadium.
Yeah,
and they underachieve here. So maybe that's when you can finally get a barometer on this sort of thing.
Tennessee is. Oof,
what a weird program.
They're scored. I think it's what do they got? 71, 70.
Did they get another field goal there?
They kicked a field goal. They 71-0 in Knoxville, Tennessee right now.
That's going to screw up Kent State's points per game on defense.
How much do you think the Vols paid them to go to Knoxville, go to Rocky Top?
Probably around at least over $1 million.
Yeah, 1.4.
Yeah, something like that.
I saw
UAB got 1.6 today.
Okay,
coming here.
Memphis got 1.4 to travel to Tallahassee and
that was
back
nice.
To the 901 with the win. Oh man.
Yeah.
Listen.
What did Toledo get to go to Starkville and beat their butt? Good Lord. Toledo's up by 21 with 4 minutes to go in a ballgame. In Starkville. They have just throttled them the entire game.
It's like you said earlier during a break. How do you change that program with the current state of college athletics and NIL? Is there an anonymous donor, or is there a donor, or is there a bigwig that I don't know about that graduated from Mississippi State?
They're in a lot of trouble because you have to have a cult of personality to win in Starkville anyway.
Yeah.
Like Mike Leach. And even Dan Mullen, to an extent, was like a personality. He'd wear those goofy shoes or whatever. You can't just have a football coach in Mississippi State. He could be the finest football coach ever, but if he can't connect with the fans, whether it's through television, social, whatever the case may be, no one's going to be inspired to, start throwing money at you for NIL purposes, and you're not going to get any players that are any good. That's what we've learned, right? Like, if you don't have a budget, you're not going to... Now, that it can also mean... There's another thing that could happen. You can have money and then just buy the wrong players.
Yep.
And then it all gets all messed up.
Florida State,
exactly. Because I think they have money. But they are... it's a total mess down there.
And it worked last year. You think about them getting Keon Coleman from, I believe, Michigan State, and he was one of the best wide receivers in college football. But they missed this year with DJU, who you think about where he was going to high school as the number 1 quarterback in the country, Derek, and for him to falter in Clemson, have an okay year at Oregon State, and then falter again this season with the Seminoles just 3 games in. How much money do you think they're paying him? And they're going to have to bench him. I don't know what Peyton Thorne's getting paid in Auburn, but he's a captain. He got benched. You got to bench DJU if you're Mike Norvell,
he
don't you?
Stinks.
Oh, he's bad.
He's absolutely awful.
And his dad tried. Listen, I defend my son too. If I had a son, I would defend him at any length necessary. But there's just no defending DJ. He's just not a good college quarterback for the amount of attention that has been paid to him these last couple years.
All right, we'll come back and we'll read some more text. We'll wrap this thing up here after these messages. Hog Reaction presented by Bud Light. Ruskin and Ty here on ESPN Arkansas. Stay with us.
This is Hog Reaction.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Our goal is to provide patients with the strongest, most effective, and safest options in this exciting field of regenerative medicine.
Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
The idea that you can avoid a joint replacement is very exciting.
And that's from a surgeon who's done thousands of joint replacements, but who now believes there's a better way.
Regenerative medicine, as we understand it today, gives lasting pain relief, improved function, without surgery, without drugs.
Under Dr. Shinecup's leadership, QC Kinetics medical professionals treat patients every day with the most advanced protocols in natural biologics. Literally tens of thousands of people all over America.
I've been doing research on regenerative medicine for 2 decades. This is the future of medicine.
Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 479-999-1234. That's 479-999-1234. 479-999-1234.
Coach, I can't believe it.
Oh, what's the matter there, DQ?
I locked my keys in my car.
Locked your keys in your car? Don't you worry. Call Papa Lock. They can help.
Will they come here?
Absolutely. They have 24-hour service and even offer $5 off with a student ID. They can unlock car doors and fix any lock.
Thanks, Coach. If you need help with locks, call Papa Lock at 479-444-9900. Papa Lock, for the key moments in your life.
Cassano Chicago Style Pizza brings you the happiest of happy hours. Happy hour Monday through Friday, 3 to 7, with $1 off drafts, well liquor, and wine. Cassano's happiest hour from 5 to 6 with $1 short domestics and $2 tall domestics. Don't forget, $15 domestic buckets all day, every day at Cassano's, your premier sports bar showing all your favorite teams. The place for the happiest hour, weekdays at 5. It's Cassano Chicago Style Pizza.
When you're looking for your next side-by-side, motorcycle, ATV, or zero-turn mower, look no further than your local Wood Power Sports store. With convenient locations in Springdale, Fayetteville, and Harrison, we've got 9 brands to choose from. If you can think of it, we've probably got it. These 3 convenient locations also provide you with outstanding service and parts capabilities. Want to know more? Visit us online at woodpowersports.com. Pick your brand, location, or shop all 3. We look forward to earning your business. Wood Power Sports, a solid name you can trust.
Indigo Sky Casino is kicking off the season with your chance to win up to $10,000 cash during First and 10K Fridays, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Come play and stay for your chance to win your share of over $1 million in total cash and Go Rewards prizes in September. Delicious food, excellent selection of adult beverages, beautiful hotel suites, weekend entertainment, the perfect destination getaway. Come stay and play. Indigo Sky Casino, Highway 60 west of Seneca, Missouri.
Sterling Bank is your community bank. As a bank, they know the biggest asset is the community they serve. Sterling Bank values its role in Northwest Arkansas and works hard to make the community stronger each day. If you're looking for a bank that offers top-notch customer service and a complete menu of products designed to make your banking experience pleasant and productive, visit your local branch in Fayetteville or Rogers. Sterling Bank is your community bank. Member FDIC.
ESPN 99.5. You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics.
Off the zone read. It's Jackson again. Left side into the end zone. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Call or text the show at 866-285-4005.
It's
Some more text coming in here. People are hanging with us, Ty.
Let's go.
There are people out there. They're watching the stream and all this stuff. So we got people out there. I think that Robert kind of summed it up. We don't know what to do with our hands. Is this good, bad? What What do you make of this?
Kind of like a family picture.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
family weekend.
Where do you put your hands?
Imagine, Derek, I was thinking about this. You were talking. Imagine a family weekend, and you got a dad who's just with his son, his daughter, and his wife. It's like, we're gonna listen to Hog Reaction. Good old family weekend here at the U of A, and they're just around the radio, sitting at the kitchen table here in Northwest Arkansas, or the hotel table tonight,
Huddled around.
Exactly.
The old oak panel radio there.
Everyone giving opinions. Got a chance to mention this earlier. Meet DQ's family today, which was cool. I also noticed, Derek, I've just now seen this. DQ's comb or hair. What is this?
I think that's a gator clip. I don't know what it's called.
On the mic, I guess. Good luck. I
don't know why it's
origin
in there.
of this.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know why it's in there. No. Couldn't tell
It's
you.
awfully pink. That doesn't seem like her color, but
I don't know. Andrew and Lowell, one positive. The new corporate logos on the field looked great.
hey, not too big.
Yeah, very, very. On television, seriously though, like the perfect size on TV because they didn't really get in the way of the action, but you knew they were there. So that was very nice. I'm sure maybe they weren't big enough, so next time they'll have to put them on bigger.
Tommy,
maybe someone complains at Walmart or Tyson.
Yeah. Tommy summed it up perfectly. He goes, well, I guess my Razorback Nuggets at Walmart just went up in cost.
They did. That's right.
When they announced that partnership with
that's right,
Mr. Tyson.
It's not inflation. We have to offset the cost of the logo on the field.
Listen, hey, I want to ask you this because I've just gotten ripped to shreds on the morning show with this theory. I've said the most important person with NIL money for Arkansas football is Doug McMillan, who's Walmart's CEO. I think he has a relationship with the Waltons. He obviously handles their affairs for Walmart. Is that a stupid theory or thought? Be honest. If you want to rip me a new one, go right ahead. But that is my thought. Like, if they haven't opened up that treasure trove with football and the Walton family, it seems like.
Here's the tricky part about the Walmart. First of all, the Waltons, while they started the business here, aren't really from here.
Yeah.
So that's the first part of the problem. The second thing about the Walmart situation is, as I'm out, walking around, the neighborhood during the day trying to get some steps in, when you walk around a bunch of different houses, you see a bunch of different flags. You see an OU house.
It's insane.
You see a Purdue house. You see a Tennessee. You see an Arkansas. But it's not the difference up here, not good or bad, just different than the rest of the state, where you could walk around in Fort Smith and see, if you saw 50 houses, you'd see maybe 40 with Razorback stuff.
flag.
If you walk around in Benton County, particularly, if you walk around 50 houses, maybe you see 25. Maybe you see 20 that have that have that stone Arkansas with his hands, Razorback with his hands pointed or whatever, something in the yard. You know what I mean?
And that's changed. What would you say? Last 10 years? I mean, it's a relatively recently new development. It's not going the other way too. I mean,
is when you have a major metropolitan area. This is how it is.
Yeah.
People come from everywhere. There are very few people that are from Atlanta, but there's a lot of people that live in Atlanta, and obviously we're not as large as Atlanta. But I think the comparison works because you have a lot of people that move here that aren't from here, and so that's they bring with them their team and their history and all that stuff. And another thing here. So these field logos don't have anything to do with NIL, do
Correct.
they? It's just athletic department. The only connection to the NIL tie that I could come up with was next year they have to start splitting the revenue, so they need something to offset that because they've got to write a $20 million check to all their different players in the various sports starting next year. So how do you make up losing $20 million? Well, you can put some logos on the field, and maybe there'll be some logos on the court in basketball and stuff like that.
Still got that name, too, for the stadium.
Stadium naming rights, yeah.
Which I'm honestly surprised that wasn't announced in the offseason. I don't know. They couldn't figure out the person that was going, or the
Do you wonder who they pitched it to? And who said no?
I think it's pretty obvious who they pitched it to. The Waldens, the Hunts, the Tysons.
Yeah.
Here's my thing, the Stevens.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know, I think there's sometimes, in my little world, my little box, that would be of interest to me. That'd be the Richardson family Razorback Stadium. That would be cool. The the Ruskin family Razorback Stadium. But I don't know if that matters to any of the bigwigs that run things here in the state of Arkansas. I got no idea if that's something they'd like to stroke their ego, if that's something that's even like that they would enjoy at all. I got no clue, to be honest.
Right. Yeah. I don't know what that, obviously there's a lot of people who like to have their names on buildings, but, to have it on that particular building.
Education. Well, do you want it on that building the way they keep playing? I mean, just to be honest, like you pay for a product, go. All right. Well, it's like a 19-point game. Did they recover that? Let's go to New Mexico. Do you really want to put your name on that product?
Yeah, that's another thing there. I don't know.
You want to put it on the bus on the way to road games?
Can they get a logo that they can put on other teams' fields and then sponsor the road games too? Can they do that? I got another. Let's see here.
More text.
Yeah, from the 870. Can we just get a coach that can take care of business in Fayetteville? God Almighty. That's what the text says. Here's a text that says, "I am apathetic." Well, you kind of are but you kind of aren't because you are still listening to this and us.
9:52 on a Saturday
that's right,
night when there's thousands of things that you could be doing. I think so. Like Sam through 2 games, he had a chance to help himself out last week in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Win the game. No one's talking about your job security for a couple weeks. You couldn't do that. He had a chance to put that away, and it's obviously not as big of a deal as it was last week. And he did that. They just have not taken advantage of chances. Let's go back to last year. We always refer to the 5-score games. I mean, you win 1, add 2 to those games. We're not having the same discussion as we are right now, 3 games into the season. But when you've got to take advantage of these opportunities as the Arkansas, where there is not as much room for error as 10 of your SEC counterparts that you have 11, 12 that you have to play each and every year.
Yeah,
it seems like.
Yeah, he's not great at helping himself. You know what I mean? You could help yourself by figuring out a way to win that game last week, or blowing out UAB today, or any 10 other things we could probably come up with here if we had the time. He's just not really great at helping himself. Talking about Sam Pittman, but it's kind of the mantra for Razorback athletics. I mean, like the last couple of weeks. The biggest rival to the Razorbacks is the Razorbacks. They just can't get out of their own way time and time again. But, hey, they won today, Ty, so we just need to shut up.
It's all well
and deal with it.
I am curious.
Nothing's wrong.
So these players and coaches don't have a lot of time to collect their thoughts. I'm going to be honest. The post-game press conferences are not as I think is revealing as what you'll get on Monday and what you'll get from the players throughout the week, because they kind of, again, they get some time to decompress. They think about the game a little bit. You're getting it pretty quickly after both the coaches and the players, and I'm curious what they say because they know they blew the game last week. I'm curious, how are they as out there about we didn't play to our standard? Like, you know how Travis Williams has been talking about standard? Like, that's his thing. We don't have starters, we have standards. Well, that was not the standard of Arkansas football defense for the most part.
Nope.
And curious to see if that, again, if we get a different product next week at Jordan Air Stadium. Because if you play like you did today, you'll lose by 2 touchdowns next week.
Well, it'll be an afternoon game next Saturday at some point. The league will announce all that and figure out the TV for next Saturday afternoon in Auburn. Ty will be there. And we will have all of our programming around it.
We got a
on
1-game winning streak. Well, actually, no, we were in Stillwater last week.
Yeah, you're still over behind enemy lines, except for that Florida game last year.
We got to get that thing going again, man. Golly. Or Tommy's going to discontinue this, and my fun's going to get eliminated.
If I was the head coach, I would have already told him to. I would have reached out and said, "Listen, I'm the head coach. You can't send him anymore. I can't afford all these losses. I mean, they're going to fire me.
It's his fault.
They're going to fire me." All right.
Hog reaction next week. Who's to blame more for the loss in Auburn? Ty Richardson or Sam Pittman?
There you go.
Our phone lines are open.
Put the poll up. That's what we'll do. 37-27 Arkansas wins, and that's going to wrap up our time here on Hog Reaction. For Ty Richardson, Derek Ruskin saying good night here on ESPN Arkansas and the Hit That Line Now app.